Hi, everybody. It's the CC and JT Amateur. Obviously, that's CC over there.
And that's JT.
And welcome to Snowpocalypse February 2024. Specifically, what is today? I've lost track.
February
The
4th.
February 4th,
Right.
2024. But we're in Snowpocalypse. According to the weather forecast, we're supposed to get snow all day.
We'll see. It's coming down lightly right now. We've
Yep.
gotten a couple, 3-4 inches so far. May snow all day, but we don't know.
Yep.
We never know.
Today is lots of changes today. For example, we've run off, we're doing a Mac thing because, and we'll explain why in a second. We're doing a Mac thing with our recording versus the usual Windows thing. And so this is going to be the first time we've used this audio setup.
Right.
And we're going to explain why in a second. But CC has a humongous announcement. And I'm going to go to set it up a little bit here, so because it's just a little bit fun. But it's been a very interesting week.
Very.
So this all started, months ago
Right.
when the state of Nevada couldn't hire plow drivers. And basically, that's what it was.
Basically, yes.
So what happened is last month in January. You got Thursday as a snow day.
Yes.
Got Thursday as a snow day because Washoe Valley was just impassable.
It was a mess.
It was
Yep.
impassable. Washoe Valley is, for those that are not from Nevada, Reno is north of Carson City, 30 miles north. And to get to Carson City, you have to go through a flat piece of land. By the way, beautiful, picturesque.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, but it's been known to flood, and when it snows, it becomes an ice skating rink, and it was just impassable, and it was also impassable on Friday, and then that Monday was Martin Luther King Day.
Yes. Yep.
So CC ended up with a 5-day weekend, courtesy
Right.
of the state of Nevada, and it was because the state didn't have snow plow drivers
Right.
and believe me, there's a lot of roads in this part of Nevada.
Tons of roads, and there are a lot of people that commute to Carson City because we are still a fairly small city,
60-something
60,000
thousand,
maybe.
yeah.
So a lot of people will commute from Dayton to the east, from Minden Gardnerville to the south, or from Reno to the north, or even farther north, the northern parts of
Yeah.
Reno. So
Well, there's 4 people in your office, and one
Yes.
commutes from Dayton, and one commutes from West Reno.
yes,
And then there's the 2 of you in Carson City.
yes, and there are a couple of librarians that actually 3
Well, I was just-
librarians. No, I'm just saying. Also, in our building, we have
Yeah.
3 other people that commute from Reno.
Well, I was
So
just talking about the sample
Yes.
size, though.
Yep.
So just in your sample size,
Right.
there's 50% of the people
Yep.
and it's
couldn't have gotten
actually-
here.
Yeah, so anyway, so CC is enjoying this 5 days of luxury.
It was
And
awesome.
the weather and the Monday was actually quite nice.
It was absolutely glorious, but it was a holiday. I mean,
Yeah.
we were already scheduled to have that day off anyway because it's a national holiday.
So CC has had 4 or 5 days to recover from work.
Yes.
And it starts the brain rolling.
Yep. Yep.
So fast forward to last weekend,
Yes.
and it's another nice weekend. It's
was
just
very nice.
Spring-like in January. It's the last weekend in January, very spring-like, and this all happens right after the podcast, which is why we didn't talk about it in the podcast. But,
Right.
she had taken Monday and Tuesday off, just randomly taken Monday and Tuesday off.
Right. My intention had been to get all of the Christmas decor packed away. We still have Christmas in the house for various reasons that you will soon find out, but I started organizing some of the things because if you've been following our basement adventures, my storage system in the basement was completely thrown out of whack, and not having things organized was stressing me out. So I was going to start organizing things and then packing away Christmas. In the meantime, I had also scheduled an appointment to talk to our state retirement system.
Yep, and
Just
it's just
to talk to them. I wanted to see, we were thinking a couple years, within the next couple of years, that I would be retiring.
but it just sort of all came together, having the 5-day weekend and then having the 4-day weekend, and it's like, if you work towards whatever the goal was, it's not really going to add that much to the retirement. So why not take your health, keep your health, and
I'm retiring next month.
woo!
At the end of March.
Yeah.
So we had been toying with the idea. My original plan was the fall of 2026, which would be 2.5 years from now. Then I kind of started toying with the idea of, well, maybe the fall of this year, work until August, and then, as of September, I could be free. But while I was at the seminar, I found out the timetable for submitting paperwork for this kind of thing was actually much shorter than I expected.
Yeah.
And I was there. So I was like, I'm going to start the process. And then I went into work and told my bosses so that would have been
Wednesday.
Yes. So the last day of January, I said, my last day of work is March 29th.
Yeah. And so, so this week has been a roller coaster because it's just been so many emotions. Because the retirement thing was going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, I've been through it. Your turn. And it's a big lift, and it's one of those life-changing goals. I mean, it's a big life-changing goal because you think about, graduate high school, get married, work,
have kids,
buy a house, all of those life-changing. Retirement is one of those things. And so Cece is going through the same feelings that I went through, a couple of years ago. And you're probably feeling, we've talked about this, you're probably feeling, a sense of relief, but your stomach is all tied up in knots.
Yes.
It's funny how that works.
Right. And part of the anxiety is coming from making sure all the paperwork is done in the appropriate time period so that we don't have any lapses and things.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that I had planned originally to wait until 2026 was that JT would then be eligible for Medicare.
Right.
But we found out that we can maintain retirement coverage from my current job for the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So why wait?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll still... Either way, we're going to have to get the insurance coverage somewhere. So we just continue with our current coverage. And, why wait?
So big changes. So what we're doing is, the reason that we have the new setup here, and we were getting around to it, is we're going to go for a test drive of the new stuff and try to sustain the company 2 more books from the road using this setup.
Yep.
So we'll be, our hope is that sometime in early April that we can go see the awesome aunt, somewhere in California and, visit with her, but also maintain, keep working on our company, 2 more books, our publishing company, with the Mac, and then also continue to do podcasts, continue to do, videos. And then of course, CC is going to work up on the audio visual. Yep. But for 2 more books, that means we're moving things around on the org chart.
Yes.
First of all, the org chart actually doesn't, it's just us.
Yeah, for now. Who knows?
It's just the org chart. This is the org chart right now. But so CC is the chief executive officer and the editor-in-chief. And, it becoming April Fool's Day becomes the chief marketing officer.
Great day for that to start.
I'm terrible at marketing. I've been the interim marketer. We've always planned that she becomes the chief marketer, because I just have this thing about asking people for money. It's just a thing. Well,
I'm not planning on marketing per se. I feel like we need to make a kind of an organic connection with people, and it's more of, you might be interested in what we write. We're not going to do hard sell ever. We're just not that kind of people. We're not the work in a car lot. We're going to, just attack you the second you walk on the car lot to look at the cars and say, hey, you want to buy this model right here. No, that's not what we do. We are trying to provide good entertainment value, a quality product, but we hope that you kind of connect with us and maybe feel like we are similar to you in some ways, that we may like the same things that you do, and as a result, you may enjoy our books.
Yeah. I'll take a picture of our
bookshelf that we're working on.
Yeah. Can you see way over there?
Yes,
our bookshelf
right
there?
Down here.
Yeah. And that's going to grow, and I'm going to get to that in a second. So we're going to develop a marketing model, and we're going to continue to develop it. But having 2 people in the company full time versus someone who has a full-time job who has to squeeze whatever hours that are left in the day and the weekend to do it, it is going to be a humongous lift. It's going to be a humongous lift. But don't expect us to be knocking on your door or throwing things in your face. That's not the way we do things. But it's for us to move forward, for us to continue to evolve. This is a natural progression, one that, I'm frankly looking forward to. Yay.
Me too. And I think basically what will happen is that our social media posts will become more regular and consistent,
Sure.
because right now it's very hit or miss. Since I tend to do it, you do schedule a few things,
Hmm.
but we're going to do it more consistently with both accounts because we have two separate accounts. Plus, we've started a third account as our publishing company account for two more books. So those will be evolving. We'll be updating platforms like Facebook and Goodreads and things like that. So that's coming in the next few months. Probably it will be an evolutionary process throughout the rest of the year, I'm thinking.
Yeah, so we've got so big, humongous news for two more books. Big, humongous news for CC, life changing, and we're going to take this ball and we're going to run with it because, as I said, we're going to do a short trip, and we're thinking about other trips. We want to, get to know the small bookstore. Excuse me, I'm sorry, small bookstore owners in
Right.
Nevada. Because we just want to get out there. Public face, and then this is the face that she's basically going to do this and say, okay, we're going. And I'm going to go, yes, dear, we're going.
Someone is not quite as comfortable as I am in front of the camera or talking to people in public for a variety of reasons. And
Yeah.
part of it we have mentioned is your hearing issues.
Yeah.
But I think you're maybe in some ways more of an introvert than I am too.
Yeah. But that there is rise the contradiction, because most of the books in our catalog are written by me.
At the moment,
Yeah.
I do have a series planned.
Yep. So
And that's another evolutionary process. I'm considering that I may be changing the stories will remain the same, but some parameters within the stories may be changing.
But for the moment, anyway, so it's like, we're going to be doing these things like at Barnes & Noble and stuff like that. The person who actually wrote the books should be there.
Well, as long as we are there together, we can be promoting our joint book. And I have gone to book signings, and I have been involved in book signings, and the ones where numerous authors are there are a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because people just tend to wander around and chat, and it's not so much you're in the spotlight. Whereas when you do a Barnes and Noble type of situation, they put you at a table kind of in the front of the store,
Yeah.
and everybody has to walk by you, but they're all very nervous to talk to you.
Right.
I feel like if we're here and we're kind of chatting to each other and we're like, oh, hi, how are you today? And, it kind of brings them into the conversation, whereas you're not just sitting there going, hi, you want to come over and say hi? It's okay.
So we're preparing ourselves for those moments, because also that happened this week. And again, shout out to Atticus for giving us the tools to do this. Is you can see over there, our
The
bookshelf.
bookshelf.
Well, it's about to grow because this week, and it only took this week, we were able to convert the rest of our manuscripts into paperbacks, and all of those proofs are on the way. 6 of them are on the way, actually. 6 proofs are on the way.
His manuscripts.
Yeah, so six proofs are on the way, and we'll go over them with a fine-tooth comb, and then we'll make those available for paperback. So everything that's on Amazon in ebook will also be available in paperback. And then the bigger lift is Barnes and Noble, because they have I don't want to say they're more strict, but they're more anal. I'll go with that. and then I'll start working my way through Barnes and Noble, and this is all good because then we'll have the multiple formats available. Right now we've got something 70 something, and we have 11 books in our catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And from the 11 and those 11 books have 70 entries across the 5 platforms in both ebook, paperback, and audio.
Right.
So, yay for us.
And audio is something that we're also talking about, because we did use AI to put out some audiobooks for The Awesome Ant, because we didn't have any other option for the moment. And there are things happening where it was a time limitation. We wanted to get them out as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we probably would not have done it yet. We are going to go back and revisit those AI-generated audiobooks and do them either ourselves.
Right.
We may test that out, or we might wait until we can afford to hire a voice actor. I mean, authors have done it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Some people love to narrate their own books, and others would prefer to hire someone who's got a lot more experience with it. So we're weighing our options there. Some of it will depend on timing and how our finances work out, but
Yeah.
we're not going to continue to go with the AI generated audiobooks because it was okay. It was good enough for the moment, but it's not the kind of product that we normally want to release.
Yeah, of the products, the audiobooks are just sort of band-aids, and
And
myself, if it wasn't for the awesome man, I'd probably just
right.
move on. But the idea of doing audiobooks ourselves is also an idea because definitely I have a voice for radio, or a face for radio, or whatever.
No. I actually think you have a wonderful voice, and people have told me that my voice is soothing, so I don't know,
I
but
don't know.
I have narrated some
So
things.
okay. So really exciting,
A lot of
life-changing
exciting,
news for
yes.
the positive, really
Hmm.
good stuff. This is a good thing,
And on the work front, I have to say at my day job, it works out really well because there's a transition happening at work where my knowledge won't be quite as necessary as it has been because they're changing systems, and it will become easier for everyone to be able to track things down that probably I don't even know about. So it kind of all came together at once,
yeah.
that the day job and the night job and the timing and insurance and a variety of things. It sounds like it might have been a spur of the moment decision, but we have been toying with the idea for a while. The date just moved and then it's like, oh, you just randomly decided to retire. That's really not the case.
Yeah.
I've been researching this for quite a while.
And but we also have to thank the state's hiring practice.
Yes.
Because if Cece hadn't had those 5 days off, maybe wouldn't be thinking so strongly about that. So, but
Well, a lot of things have been in flux for us and at my day job recently. So it's, like you said, it's an idea whose time has come.
but it's also
It's challenging. It's
yeah,
a lot more emotional than I was expecting.
yeah, but it's like, so March 29th will be the last day in the office, then you're going to wake up on that following Saturday,
Right.
and then you're going to be waking up on that following Monday.
Right.
Which is probably going to be
that's going to be strange.
That's probably going to be the biggest culture shock, because it's like, it's 5:30. Why am I awake?
Right. And that will be a transition too, where hopefully I'll start to shift my sleeping pattern a little bit, so where I'm not waking up before sunrise, because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my mind or if it's just the fact that I'm in such a routine now, that because I did work at an earlier hour for quite a while too.
Yeah, so
I'm very used to getting up really early in the morning, and I'm hoping I can shift that and, maybe have some later evening hours to relax or write, or because there can be fewer distractions in the evening, really.
there's going to be, the evening could actually become a relaxing time, and
Yep.
this is the thing that I found, when working for 2 more books, and my really mean CEO is that it's not really work. It is that cliche that if you like what you're doing, it's not really work. It's something that you end up wanting to do versus what you have to do, and it's the differences between the two. And we should say there was a time in Cece's day job, was work that she wanted to do.
Yes.
But things change.
Yeah.
Things always change, and
They evolve. It's an evolution, and there comes a point where I am not in a place where I want to keep doing the continuing education necessary to roll with those changes. A lot of my knowledge base would still be necessary, but as I said, the evolution that's happening will allow other people to be able to access that knowledge without me being there. So
yeah, and we've talked about this too, that
Yep.
there comes a point where there should be out with the old, in with the new.
Yes.
I'm an example of that too, because I was at my place for several years, and things were constantly changing. And while it's good to have institutional knowledge, the reality is technology moves on, policies move on, everything moves on, and you need a fresh look at things. So it's natural. Is it sad? Yeah, it's absolutely sad. But there comes a point where you need to have the fresh set of eyes and the fresh set of energy
Yep.
in order to not only adjust to those things, but to meet those challenges head on. And that's just life. That's just
And I have noticed my energy levels have been lagging a lot lately. I'm hoping that not having that consistent 40-hour work week and all that stress will help me regain some of my energy levels, because after that 5 days off, I don't know if you remember, I know I went to work and said this, I feel more like myself. after I get that rest. So lately at work, I have not been feeling like myself. And even one of my bosses said the same thing.
Yeah.
She noticed. So there comes a time when it's kind of a natural process where it's time to move on.
Yeah, no, if it sounds like we're making excuses or anything
No.
like that, it's just our observation because life, man, life happens. We're writers, we notice that. But I wouldn't be so sure that your 40-hour work days are over because we are running a small business. But
No.
But you know what I mean.
Right. I'm talking
40-hour
about
work
that
days. Hold on a
framework.
second. Work weeks, but
It could be a 40-hour work day.
it'll feel like it.
That thought of that structured,
Hmm.
I mean, I tend to, as you've probably found out, as you said, working for 2 more books, it's like you kind of work with the rhythm of your body. If you're not feeling like doing a particular task, you don't have to do it right that second. You can take a break, go back to it later. Whereas when you're in an office job, they expect you to be working.
Yep.
No matter how you're feeling all day. Either you're homesick or you're at work. And if you're having an off day, that's stressful because you're not always able to do all the things you should be doing. So at home, doing our own business things, it allows a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I have down days here, and it's just like, But here's the thing about down days is when you're a private business owner, is because you are a private business owner, and I need to put this in perspective. We are a very, very small, very, very tiny, teeny tiny book publishing, company, book creation, book company. So we're very, very teeny tiny, but it's important to us.
Yep.
And because it is important to us, even when I'm having down days, I'm still doing something.
The brain is working.
Well, I'm still working. I'm still
Yeah.
touching the keyboard and still doing,
True.
I'm still logging a couple of hours every day. Even when I'm feeling like crap, I'm still doing, something either with hard copies or I'm doing something with spreadsheets. Yeah, because, and so, things like that. Spreadsheets.
Oh, you like the spreadsheet. I have seen him with his spreadsheets and he enjoys it no matter what he says.
Well, we have to do the spreadsheets because we are a company and we do have our Saturday meetings, company meetings. Well, right now we have our Saturday meetings. I don't know what we're going to do after,
Could be
April
Wednesday
1st.
meetings for all we know.
But I know I have to show, royalties versus expenses and inventory and things like that. So, it's inventory.
Inventory.
So, we, again, we're a very small business, but for us, it's important to us. And so, and it's something to keep us going.
And also, this may be a good transition point. You mentioned the royalties. So with the process that we've been working on, with the intention of me retiring at some point, we have been expanding to paperbacks, to other publishing platforms. And that has turned out to be a good thing because we're not bringing in tons of money just yet. It's really the first month of the new year where we've really been implementing these things, and we haven't figured out our marketing or whatever you want to call it. But we have been making more royalties in the short term than we did as an Amazon only author platform.
And so we're stuck with the same thing that, Microsoft or any other company has to deal with. Is this a one-off thing?
Right.
Is this a trend? And so we're having those discussions, the same that they have in boardrooms, executive boardrooms around the world. It's, you have to pay, you have the same roles in all companies. They may have different titles, but you still have to, you still have somebody has to do the marketing, somebody has to do the IT, somebody has to be the creative staff. These are the things in a company are consistent. So it's just ours is a very small by comparison, but we still have those same discussions.
Right. And we are in our infancy, you might say. We are learning our way because I have done a lot of research over the years. But one of the important lessons that I learned is that not everything works the same for everybody.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying we need to have a more organic connection with potential readers. We don't want to hard sell you on anything. We want to say, hey, you might enjoy this because, we feel like we're bonding a little bit and we hope that you enjoy the stories that we tell. Versus, oh my God, this is the best book ever. You need to really read this. This is the most popular thing. It's whoever the big author of the day is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm envious, as I'm sure a lot of small authors are, of the people who suddenly hit it big and, you get that income and then you're not so worried about the next book because maybe you've gotten things under control. But, at our point, and for a lot of us authors, it's a day-to-day grind trying to get the word out because so many people are doing this.
Yeah, and we're realistic too. We
Yep.
understand that you know that our product may not be, our books may not be for everybody. So
No.
we get that. So, but we're going to keep grinding on. We're going to keep grinding on, and at some point, we're either, I don't know, it could be hybrid. We're successful, not successful, one or the other. But at least what we want to be able to say someday is we did our best, and this is where we are. So that's what it is. But our future plans, we're excited about them. It's going to be exciting to have somebody who can just solely dedicate energies to marketing research, watching marketing videos, and just dedicate to the marketing, and then frees up my time so I can focus on the other aspects, the other jobs that I have, plus the book writing, and then and to be able to get up in the morning and be able to say, hey, let's go to XYZ place, Sundance Books in Reno, for example. Let's just go. Let's just do it, or or go to Maryland or something like that.
The Grand Canyon.
Pardon me?
The Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon. And have these exciting adventures together, and bring you along, whether you want to be or not, because wherever we go, whatever we do, we're going to be dragging you along, whether you like it or not. So, woo!
So really, we're retiring from a career, but we're not retiring from life, basically, because that cliche of the old couple in the rocking chairs on the front porch really isn't a thing anymore. Retirees are so much more active in their older years now, and we're still fairly young for retirement age. I know there are people younger than us who have retired and actually don't really do anything because they've invested, but we want to maintain our level of luxury, such as it is, our lifestyle. Yeah. It's luxurious to us.
So basically, we're gonna just have to work it. So we're excited about this. We're dreading it. We're excited. Our stomachs both have butterflies the size of 747s, but also tied up in knots. But it's a transition whose time has come, that would have come anyway.
Right.
And so if you have any ideas, especially if you're a retiree with a book career, if you have any idea, shoot us some ideas about what's gotten you over the transition hump, and let us know what you think, because we're doing this together, but we're also interested in other people's perspectives as always.
And I have been commenting with people on social media. I've been connecting with some people who are in a similar age group to us, who are in a similar place in life. And I have gotten some very good comments and, at least you're not in this alone. This is what happened to me types of interactions. So that's been very pleasant. And that's kind of what I hope to build on as I work on our social media platforms.
Okay, so big changes, big excitement. We'll get back to the writing thing next week, but we wanted to share that with you and give you a heads up that this is probably going to be a small thread for the next 8 weeks. And then, then on March 31st, which is our Sunday, March 31st, will be the podcast that,
freedom.
So all sorts of exciting stuff, and we are equally happy to have you along with this journey, and would love to hear back from you on these things. Anything else that we want to talk about other than,
No, just that we do still plan to maybe do a guide of some type to get through this, because I found out it's a lot more complex than you would expect. There are a lot of little nuances that we've been discussing with our little publishing company, and hopefully we'll have some insight and at least guides to where you can find information you might need to make your own decisions.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. It's really big.
Okay. Until then, you will check out next week. No, I don't have any transition. We do ask that you go to our website, www.carsonhume.com, and check out our books, check out our blogs, check out our podcasts, and learn more about us, and use that as the means to get in touch with us when you have any questions for yourself, www.carsonhume.com. And until that moment comes, sitting over there is CC.
And there's JT.
And we hope that y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we'll catch you next time. Love you lots. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.